Dota, Optic, Immortals starting it off, and then later EG versus Cole, and then even later than that, we will determine another member of the TI squadron.
With the winner bracket
TI,
finals.
yeah,
Yes.
winner bracket
Squadron.
finals. The squadron. So I'm pretty excited. Cap, I believe we do have another matchup running right now. Do you know where it's at?
Yes, our draft is actually already underway. First 2 picks.
No, I meant the other
is
game.
already done. Meanwhile, we do have Blinkpool versus Kingwin.
Yes.
And that's going to be on twitch.tv Beyond the Summit 2.
And if you did see the first game, or if you didn't, Kingwin got kind of bodied. They got outdrafted, and then they got destroyed. I mean, from what I'm looking, I mean, I know we're in NA, but Europe feels like OG, they're really good. Wind and Rain and Blinkpool are pretty good, and then everyone else is down there. That's my take.
So you're pretty much saying Kingwin's the first team out?
Yes,
That's what it sounds like.
Kingwin got bodied pretty hard game 1. And I have a feeling game 2 will be the same. I mean, Misery Soxa, they own. Like, you have a support duo that ownage, they're going to be good. But here's the draft, and it's a Nagamurana.
Hey, Grant, you want to know what my fortune cookie said?
Not really, because most fortune cookies aren't actually fortunes. It's just life advice, and it pisses me off. But go on.
Share your many talents with your community.
That's not a fortune. That's literally not a, like, fortune cookies.
I had the same thing. I don't remember what it was. It says, like,
advice.
trust your own decisions, like, they'll take you far or whatever. And I'm like, that doesn't tell me what's going to happen to me.
Yeah, it
tells me what I'm supposed to do.
The stars align to make you look good. Or the stars align so that maybe in the future you can do something. You're like, damn, that's But, okay, there's a Venomancer. We've been seeing this here actually banned a lot in NA, and really nowhere else. But now it's picked.
I saw it picked a lot in China.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, when I was watching their qualifiers, they picked it a lot as like just a utility hero that kind of just, you sit in the lane, and the other team, if they don't send 2 heroes there, you're going to lose your tower. So that was kind of the idea of Venomancer in this patch, where he doesn't necessarily win his lane early, but eventually the passive like harasses any hero out of lane, so nobody can really like occupy the lane against him by themselves. That's kind of like the idea of the hero, but the way you deal with that, because the fact that he slowly wears you down, is by killing him. So Nagamurana is not a terrible way in the slightest to deal with something like that.
10 seconds remaining.
And a Nagamurana. A good combo. I think Velo has been playing it a lot for their team, so I assume that might just be their offlane duo. Obviously, you can't put it mid, you can't put it safe lane. That's what makes Murana so good.
Very hard to lane against, just because anytime usually most supports want to harass from the side of the lane, and if you're not inside of creeps, you just get netted into like a 4-second arrow, and you're going to at least lose most of your health at the very best.
Blitz, what do you like about this opening
10 seconds remaining.
4 picks?
I mean, I think Night Stalker right now is just a really, but he's weird. Some regions value him, like C region thinks that hero's amazing, obviously, and a lot of the others kind of like, I think Veno is a hero that Optic they played twice now.
Yep.
I still don't know quite where this hero's like place is in the game.
After laning phase, like, just what does he do kind of thing?
Like
or?
in the past, it was pretty clear cut, right? What Liquid would do with him, they would just shove down mid tower, then they take bottom ones, if you're on Radiant, and then you just like set up that triangle of farm on the dire side, and it'd be pretty straightforward. You just get really farmed. You had like the 90 GPM talent, and then you had that DPS talent at the end, the upgraded ward, and you just became a. But nowadays, it's like it's not so straight. I mean, you guys played it right in the quals.
Yeah, we played it once. Yeah.
What's like the rough idea behind?
Well, what happened was I watched IG do it in the China quals, and what the idea behind the hero is that most teams are putting a lot of value on their own safe lane tier 1 now because of denies. They're prioritizing defending it. So rather than having Veno be like a lane pressure hero that takes towers himself, he basically sits in his own safe lane and says, "You're not going to take our tier 1 without putting up a lot of resources in order to get it." So like I saw them like run it against Beastmaster type heroes specifically, because Beastmaster is an offlaner that kind of his goal is to continuously pressure that and eventually take the tower such that he can control your jungle and run around the map killing you. And so Venomancer's main purpose is to deny that entire thing happening.
So Beastmaster, like, that makes sense because Beastmaster doesn't really rotate very well, right?
Exactly.
Like, he really wants to be able to... So it feels like you're just, like, failing at your purpose in the game.
I think when we did it with our team, like, honestly, I missed the first level Gale, which in a lane against Beastmaster, if you let it snowball against you, is like day and night difference compared to what it would be otherwise. So like when I missed the first Gale, we were like, oh god, this lane's bad. But it's one of those where it is conceptually a nice counter. Like it's just like it still can go wrong.
There's an Oracle.
Good against Veno for the magic damage, I guess.
That's what I was saying. I mean, it's a decent hero, but it felt like they see Veno, they're like, let's get an Oracle. I don't know if that's always the decision,
yeah.
but
You can dispel off the Silence of Night Stalker, and you can get some sort of weird setup with your Fortune's End on like an ally or something off of the sleep. That's like some really 3-second entangle shenanigan.
Immortals had to know Lina was coming after Optic banned TA as well. They're not going to take it themselves. So Lina's the best hero on the pool right now.
This is a interesting lineup from Immortals. It's like you get Mirana. She's been moving up the hero ladder quite a bit.